As we wrap up our discussion of who should go to college this week and move on to a new topic, I wanted to make a few concluding remarks about the discussion and the journal questions last week. The consensus as far as whether or not a writing course should be required in college was that yes, that's fine because generally speaking, writing is a necessary skill in most business and professional careers. On the issue of whether a second course in writing that focused on writing about literature, whether that should be required, the overwhelming consensus was that no, it should not be required because it is a waste of time and money. So, does that end the argument? Well, no, actually. There's another point of view. I think one of the reasons that the debate on the second literature course was so lopsided was that sometimes students failed to recognize the opposing point of view. To say that a course in which you study great writers is a waste of time and money is an opinion. It's not self-evident. It's a claim that requires support. Considering the other side's point of view, they say, is one of the best ways for you to support your own point of view. It's an effective and necessary strategy. And one of the strongest arguments supporting the requirement for a literature course was expressed by a student who wrote, quote, "The institution or program wouldn't require it if they thought you didn't need it." Now, that is still debatable. I mean, that is essentially, though, citing the expert opinion of educators, the consensus, to support the claim. Another strong argument is that surveys show that as many as 3/4 of U.S. employers recommend that students pursue a liberal education. Unger notes this in his essay, which we read. He also notes that a growing number of corporations are headed by people with liberal arts degrees. Of course, there's always a counter to the counter. Sure, employers say that, but does their hiring actually reflect that? The answer would require some research. Argumentation is, as we've discussed, basically a process of they say, I say. Now, I do want you to understand that your grade, the grade for your journal and your discussion, were not based on what position you took. But they were based partially on how well you supported that position. Did you consider the opposing point of view? Or did you just dismiss the idea? I thought it would be helpful for you to know the importance of considering the opposition.